Hey, it's Andrea from Doing Business as Yourself. Today is a video about the fear of success. Maybe you have the fear of success. You actually have the fear of success versus fear of failure is something that comes up for me quite a bit. People think they have a fear of failure, and the truth is that the fear of success, I mean, you might have some of both, but the fear of success is almost more powerful than the fear of failure, and we just label it with fear of failure. Um, so, what I want to really underscore here is that the fear of success can often show up as the fear of it can show up as procrastination and self-sabotage, and it's more actually that I have a dog that's about to bark at me. Come here. Come on. This is a helper friend. Chachi. Okay, buddy, you stay over here. So in the process of I've dealt with this all my life because success, getting things accomplished, it doesn't come all that hard for me, but then there's all this other stuff that goes with it. So, we all have our own things. So some people have to work harder to accomplish whatever, and other people it might come easier, but then there's its own, bugaboos that go with that. This is about the fear of success and end of things. If you're having, and a lot of times people are having difficulty doing things because of, it all comes back around to secret beliefs about things that they have been conditioned from childhood, and in the people who talk to them, and beliefs about themselves. And, sure, there's some limitations that we each have around our abilities, but a lot of this is mental. It's a mental game. So I have two resources to share with you. One is not a specific resource, although she's amazing, especially for the story selling aspect of things. Lisa Nichols. I came across a video where she was talking to somebody who was talking about having a fear around becoming a teacher. And what Lisa said was that your fear of success around becoming a teacher is something you've attached some kind of pain to, that actually being something that works. So ask yourself maybe if you haven't attached some kind of a pain to, and this is, again, secret belief stuff, to what you're doing or what you're trying to do or what you think you're trying to do actually working out. I mean, what's that look like? Maybe that's something that you really need to stop and think about, what could be, subliminally stopping you, even though you don't think that you're not, you think you're chugging ahead trying to get, to the success point. But if there's some kind of a pain that's attached to it, and your awareness of, and you're not aware of it, but in your, you're something you're relating to the success being having a pain attached to it. So I wrote 3 things down right away when she was saying that. I said it creates expectations, it creates responsibilities, and it creates energy management issues is a big one for me because and this goes back to the human design stuff. I'm a projector. The idea of too many people needing me personally is like it's a big ceiling. If I don't find a way around that, or if I have found some ways around that, but if I don't continue to find more ways around that, it's going to be a ceiling of the ability to serve people the way that I don't even know if I want to serve people the way that I can serve people. It's I don't have really any attachment to whether I do or I don't serve people. Like if I don't show up one day, I don't have guilt around, oh, I should have showed up because so and so is gonna miss out on something. I don't have any of that. But I do see value in leveraging my own, what I know in the world. And if other people find it useful, that's great, So I think there's a win-win scenario with all of this stuff that's possible. So the other gal that I came across, well, Lisa's example of what she knew to be true for her about her own rise to fame, um, was that she was afraid that it would cause people to that she loves to treat her differently. Like that was a big issue, and it's a big issue for a lot of people. Like I won't somehow belong anymore is like what keeps a lot of people in the place that they're at, whether they actually want to be there or not. Um, and so there's always some kind of a pain attached to this fear of success thing. And there turns out there's a lot of different stories that people are telling themselves. I was looking through and I found another person who had an amazing blog. She has an amazing blog. It's, let me get the name of it right quick so you can go check her out. She's amazing. And it's not even the topic that I'm talking about all the time, but all of these sort of principles apply across whatever the medium that you're wanting to wrap your brand around, or what you're wanting to talk about really. So hers is psychologyforphotographers.com. And I happened to come here by way of I came to her site by way of a Google search for fear of success to see what came up for me as far as what was true. Her writing, I might as well not write almost. In some ways, I could be, I could be content to just read her reading and read her reading to you. I don't know quite how the copyright stuff would work in that situation, but she does have some programs that I would really like to be promoting, because I can see the application outside of her conversation is on that blog in particular is about how to build your photography business up or things, but it totally applies to basically finding your voice, finding your audience, all the stuff that I love to talk about, right? So she has, I'm going to tell you I'll kind of read off the 6 symptoms of fear of success that she listed, and then she had like an instant fill in the blanks assignment that I can read off to you and you can write down. So get out a piece of paper and a pen, like get a journal or whatever you've got that you write in regular and can do some brainstorming around for yourself, because this is some deep shit. So her name is Janica McDevitt, I think is how you say her name. And her blog post was 6 symptoms of fear that you might have fear of success. And a lot of people, I swear, they just don't realize that this is what's going on. This is what's going on. So she said, here's the list of symptoms. What if I don't actually want the spotlight to be on me? So there's a whole fear of success around, especially on YouTube, for instance, or even posting just on timelines inside of Facebook, or even posting to blogs. People don't necessarily want the spotlight on them. And she has a great little blurb about that. So I'm going to put the link to this post down below, and you go read this post because it's amazing. What if gathering an audience brings out detractors, trolls, and other assorted meanies? This has been a big one for me over the years, because it's, again, for me, an energy management issue. I don't have so much, I don't take that stuff personally necessarily. A lot of people will take it personally and take it on board. One bad comment for every 100 will screw their heads up. I can delete people, I can unsubscribe people, I can, just push them aside. I have that ability. However, the idea of even having that work to do and having to sort of like brand manage or PR manage, like there's a whole other hat to wear. And I don't know that, I haven't known over the years that that's what I want to be doing. But one of the things that she said specifically in this post that I was really appreciative of, and I know to be true because I've experienced it now over time, when you have a small group of fans who know, love, and love you, you rarely have to defend yourself or guard your emotions. And she gives an example of a YouTuber who had a similar scenario. she had a story to tell around it, and I'll just let you go to the post and read that. But it's so true. Once you have sort of your toe in the water with a group of people who want to be your true fans, you don't have that like I'm alone in the world feeling. And I'm finding that even on YouTube now. Like, so YouTube used to feel to me like this great big like place of who knows who's going to turn up. Facebook used to feel like that. I post everything publicly, and over the years I've culled and honed my Facebook following to a point where I really don't see anything on my timeline, on my newsfeed that that distracts me the wrong way, and I don't see the people who do post on my wall are, generally speaking, occasionally I'll get somebody who's like off key for me, and I just get rid of it. There's no reason not to own your own space, especially if it's a private, personal wall. And so YouTube, and also you felt like this even vaster, I don't know who's out there who might be watching kind of thing, but the reality is that people won't actually find your stuff until until the people who find it will have a reason to find it because of the way that search engines work, and because of the way, depending on how you promote it. So search engines will deliver pretty much people who want to listen to what you're saying for the most part. But if you're promoting in the wrong place and attracting the wrong people, then you will, like if you go in a place and you want to be, it's like, I always use the vegetarian meat eater example. So if you go to a vegetarian site and you want to post videos about meat eating or killing or whatever, hunting, you're not going to come back with the right people, the right eyeballs on your stuff. So you really want to be in topic-friendly places, not necessarily being controversial, being helping people get more of what they want. It tends to be the best way to do some, connecting inside of spaces that are on topic to what you're wanting to talk about. And there's that whole, if you are marketing correctly, you're only going to, for the most part, attract people who will champion you, and the ones who hardcore champion you will put out of business the ones that come in like random and stupid. So that was a major point for me. That's only 2 of her 6. There's the imposter syndrome that comes up. There's you may have certain ideas about what successful people are like, that this is a big secret beliefs component. So you might feel like success comes in lots of formats, but let's just talk about wealth. You might have preconceived conditioning around what it means to be wealthy and who that makes you in person, that it turns you into something. I forget who said this, but really money in general makes you more of whoever you already are. So if you're already a humble, giving person, you can be more humble and more giving. If you're already kind of a, me first kind of person, you can be more me first with more money. That's my own thing about, the accumulation of money on that front for me isn't a problem, because I like who I am, and being more of this would be fine. If you have, concerns about that it's going to change some, you can't manage how other people are going to respond, and that's a whole mindset thing. Some people you have to part ways with. Some people you have to convert. Some people you have to prove yourself first. And while you don't have to prove yourself, you don't have to prove yourself to anybody. But what I'm saying is, the proof will be in the person that you become, and that you're still yourself. That's what I mean in terms of proving yourself. So some people just require to see it to believe it, kind of thing. That's more what I meant. You might have fears around that you won't have time to do the things that you actually want to be doing. This is one of her 6 things. Yeah, and then her final point is that change is a huge effort no matter what. I'm looking down at my notes, sorry. And it's hard to imagine beforehand what things might look like, and that uncertainty can also throw people. It's all the uncertainty, secret beliefs, stuff like that. It's all clustered in here. So I think what I'll do is I'll close this out with this fill in the blanks assignment that she has on that post. And so get out your pen if you haven't already, and your paper. Chachi's over here squirming, getting ready, trying to creep around. There. Trying to interrupt things. Looking all crazy-eyed. Okay, so here's the fill. It's only there's 2 parts to this. So you're going to fill in the blanks here. Success to me is blank, and also it's blank. And it would be great. It would be great if blank. So fill those in, and then the question to ask is, what feels scary about that? So success to me is making $100,000 a year. What feels scary about that? If it doesn't feel scary, or maybe it's having 100,000 followers or 10,000 followers, or people on my list, an X number of people on my list, or having, what is success to you? It could be anything, okay? And then what feels scary about that? And if there isn't anything that immediately feels scary about that, some other questions to try are, what would have to change for me to get there? What feels uncomfortable about that, the change part? What am I putting off doing that would get me there? And what feels so noxious about that I'm avoiding it? So, what would have to change for me to get there? What feels uncomfortable about that? Second question. What am I putting off doing that would get me there? And what feels so noxious about that it's preventing me from doing it? All right. I'm going to leave you with that, because I've spent a couple hours really excited about getting down to the sort of the bedrock of my own fears and people's fears. That hopefully this will help you to identify things that might be holding you back. That's really less about fear of failure and more about fear of success. Pretty weird, but it's true. So click a like below if you liked any of this content. I'll give you the link to Janika's site, this particular post. She had a follow-up post too about getting through the obstacles of fear. May or may not be interesting to you, but just identifying these kinds of things makes them, you can't unsee them once you see them. And it's always a step ahead towards wherever it is you're wanting to go. So with that, I wish you the best of days, and dig in. This stuff is great because it's what's in the way. Let's get it out of the way. Alrighty? Alrighty. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.